tell Rotarians the same thing. Show me your thumbprint. Okay? That's why you're unique. That's why it's okay for somebody to be over here. And that's why it's okay for somebody to be over here. Because your past and how you're shaped creates every single opportunity and every single sense of judgment, belief, or value that you put in before you and you put before your friends and family. Ron talked about the two faces. I heard a comment last night in Tribe Time from a chief in CIT that said, I had a camper say that, like, I can't show my Ryla face to my friends. Think about that. Think about that. Think about that. You got a best friend at home, I can guarantee you, that does not stand beside you in this spectrum. And I guarantee you, you don't talk about your differences. You avoid your differences. Because you have different thumbprints. I want to talk to you about my thumbprint. Okay? I'll talk to you about my thumbprint. Who remembers what my number one was? Parental status. Okay? Those people right there. Alright? Parental status. Raised me in Milwaukee, Oklahoma. Just south of Tulsa. Okay? I had everything I needed. I never had what I wanted. I always had shoes. I always had a belt. I always had pants. I always had the best glove that my dad could afford. My dad worked days, my mom worked nights. But I had two parents in my household that loved me. Loved me and my sister. And what I can tell you is, when parental status is what it is, when you think about your thumbprint, I want you to think about your thumbprint real fast. I want you to think about a deposit. When you go to a bank, you make deposits and withdrawals, right? Right? Right. Everybody say deposit. Deposit. When I say three, tell me somebody that's deposited into your life. 1, 2, 3. That was soft, because you're talking to somebody that's made you who you are today. Who's deposited into your life? 1, 2, 3. Now, I want you to tell me somebody that's taken and withdrawn something from that life. Because there's people that do that. I can tell you right now somebody's withdrawn from my life. I can tell you right now. I can tell you on the spot, people, time after time. You're not going to be. You won't be. You can't be. That's too big of a dream. When I say three, tell me somebody that's taken this withdrawn from your life. 1, 2, 3. Does that feel good to think about that person? Does it feel good to think about that person? No, it don't. Mom and Dad gave me everything I had, everything I needed, wanted, and desired. I was blessed. I played professional baseball for the Boston Red Sox. I'm 36 years old. I was blessed because there were people in my life very early on that they didn't know what they were doing. But what they were doing is they were making investments. They were putting deposits into my life. They were creating lines. Think about those lines on your thumbprint. And think about those lines being people. Think about those lines being milestones. Think about those lines being the interactions you've had to be your number one. I had a chance to play at Seminole State College. Seminole State College, if you don't know anything about baseball, let me tell you right now. What winningest program in the past 40 years at any level of baseball. Went to play for a coach who was the winningest coach in the nation in college baseball, Lloyd Simmons. He retired the summer before I get there. And I meet a guy named Eric Myers. I meet a guy named Eric Myers, 6'6", about 270. Just built like a brick house. Man of God. Family man. And the first thing he did on August 18th of 2001 is he handed every player in that locker room what's on the right. I'll give you a chance to look at it. I'm going to read it, but I'll give you a chance to look at it. And on Sunday, you're going to get a copy of this. But here was the thing. It was, you remember this? You'll get a uniform at Christmas if you're here by Christmas. If you don't remember this, you won't get a uniform. I was not a great student. Point blank, I made an 18 on my ACT twice. Made a 13 in like math. That's why I married a math teacher. All right? Fact. I'm not making no 30. There's people in here, but who in here's got an ACT over 30? God bless them. All right? That ain't me. Straight up. Hey, I'm down like 4 flat tires. That ain't me. That is not me. I'll tell you what I am, though. I can remember some stuff. I can memorize some stuff. I made it through school memorizing stuff. Come Friday, I forgot about it because I took the test on Friday morning and I was done. And I thought, sure enough, I can remember this thing. I played ball with guys from Puerto Rico, Venezuela. I played ball with guys from Australia, guys from California, Colorado, Texas. All state everything in their school. And I was just a kid from Milwaukee that really didn't understand who I was, but I was handed a sheet of paper. A sheet of paper says, this being given today, I've been given this day to use as I will waste or use it for good. What I do today is important, but changing a day of my life for it. When tomorrow comes, this day will be gone forever. I pledge myself to gain not loss, good not evil, success not failure, in order that I should not regret for the price I paid for this day. Fact of life. It ain't about religion. It ain't about being a Republican, a Democrat, pro-Trump, anti-Trump. It ain't about being pro-abortion, anti-abortion. It ain't about being illegal, illegal. It's about waking up every single day, hooking up, putting your feet on the ground, and treating it like a new day. The shirt today says tomorrow's too late. Right? That shirt ain't by chance. That shirt's not by chance. This right here, quickly, became the way I saw it. I met a young man. Anybody in Union Public Schools in here? All right, got some Union folks in here. Let me tell you what I did. Went to Oral Roberts after I played at Seminole State. I did my internship at Union over at Roy Clark Elementary. And I walked into a school, and the first day I walked into the school, anybody know those sit and reach boxes that you do, that athletes do? Well, we was doing some presidential fitness stuff. So like, these kids come up, 4 Hispanic boys, 1 African American boy. Young man's name's Willie Potts, 4th grader. I'm 22 years old at the time. Willie walks up, you can smell Willie, you can see Willie, and this is what you saw and that's what you smelled. These ain't Willie's real feet, but I'm going to tell you right now, that's what I saw and smelled. And guess what? Those 4 Hispanic boys smelled it. Those boys knew what they smelled. I'm a 23-year-old playing professional baseball. You think I got shoes like this? No way. You think growing up, I just told you I didn't have shoes like that because my parents gave me what I needed. I didn't have what I wanted, but I had what I needed. I called my dad. I said, Dad, I got to get this kid a pair of shoes. He sends me some money. I go to JCPenney's mall. I go over to the mall, over Woodland Hills Mall in Tulsa. I grab a pair of black Nikes, regular old black Nikes, white swoosh. Pair of 8 pairs of socks, because those socks he had on were supposed to be white, but they were black. I called Willie's mom and said, hey, I'd like to give Willie a gift. Mom says, sure. So I show up to school. I walk down the 4th grade hallway. Deanne Finley's classroom. I said, Miss Finley, I'd like to get Willie out of class. I got a gift for him. She said, sure. I talked to Willie, take him out in the hallway. I could take you to the spot in that 4th grade hallway where I had this conversation. I said, Willie, I've got a gift for you. I show Willie the shoes. We sat down, I put the shoes on. Willie wants to put his shoes back in the box. He had a sense of pride about those shoes because they were his shoes. And Willie said something. He said, Mr. Matt, Z knows what's up. Everybody knows why I call him Mr. Matt. 13 years later, people still call me that. I don't know why. But he says, Mr. Matt, you ever look at your shoes and thought, man, those are some nice shoes? Hell no, I ain't done that. No. Because my shoes, I always had a pair of shoes. I always had food. I didn't know what it was like to be Willie. I didn't know what it was like to walk around and not have my basic needs met. I went to spring training down in Fort Myers, Florida. Front page of the Tulsa World that year. Mom calls me, says, "You see the front page of the Tulsa World?" I said, "No, in Fort Myers, Florida. Why would I see the Tulsa World?" She says, "You're on the front page of the Tulsa World. And there's a comment by a couple kids in this program saying that Mr. Matt invested in them. That Mr. Matt gave them a chance. He cared." Well, I play about half a season of pro ball, tear up my elbow, come home, get married. I've been working for the Y since basically that September. 12 years this past September. And the reason is because it might be a pair of shoes. It could be a lot of things. It could be a simple hello. Loneliness is a real thing. Cigna Health said last week that 1 in 2 Americans report being lonely. You know what loneliness leads to? Depression, homelessness, suicide. Just like make a list of all the things when you don't belong to something. Guess what I belong to? We talk about parental status making a shift. We talk about parental status. For me, it's still my number one. And the reason it's still my number one is because of this. Yeah, they're a handful. Yeah, I mean, leadership's pretty much babysat them all week. Real story. But you know what? At the end of the day, I have to be an example for everything that I stand for. The values that I see in my children. The values I want to place in my children. I have to do that. I have to be that. That's my obligation. I never once had one of my parents do anything negative towards me. They loved me. But I never once saw a positive relationship amongst my parents. I never heard my dad tell my mom he loved her. I never heard my mom tell my dad she loved him. Never. I don't use absolutes. I don't use never and always. But I'm going to use it tonight. I never heard my parents tell each other that. Never did I hear them say that. Life is meant to be invested. I don't have a choice. I have to invest in that group of people. I have to invest in those 3 plus my wife every chance I get. Because guess what's going to be a significant part of their thumbprint? Me. Their teachers. Their friends. Their youth minister. Their basketball coach. Their baseball coach. Cub Scout leader. All that's going to be about them. It's all going to connect the dots. I love to hunt. That's part of my thumbprint. You got to take time for me, right? Ron talked about, it's not about me, but it is about me. True story. I can't just go, and keep pouring into other people without pouring into my own self and my own foundation. My parents created my foundation. Dennis Taylor, the First Baptist Church pastor in Okmulgee. Bruce Mabry at Mabry Bank in Okmulgee. Larry Pinkston at Unicorp. Many supervisors in the YMCA. Still today, people invest in me. Still today. So that I can have the thumbprint, the rich thumbprint that I have. Ron shared this earlier. You got to have purpose. That new day is full of purpose. You wake up, you put your feet on the bed, and you do it. Every day is a new day. The only reason it's not is if you choose for it not to be. You can't change what happened yesterday. Your thumbprint is shaped. But you can sure as hell change what you do in the next 10 minutes. You can sure change what you do before in tribe time. Because that's still up for grabs. But tomorrow may be too late. It just might be. There may be a conversation you need to have. There may be a thank you need to throw out there. Because you simply haven't done it. When you find that red dot, The red dot that I get to see every day at the YMCA. The red dot that I get to see, and the reason why I'm here. This isn't easy work. For us to pull this whole thing off, the work that Tracy and Gary do, the work that my wife does, and the work that I do to make this thing happen, is not just show up last week and put it together. Bringing people like Sammy along, bringing the chaperones along, bringing Kyle and Aaron along, bringing the leadership team along, all of that. It's not easy work, but we do it because it's purpose. Because we know your community needs this. We're not paid for it, though. Be nice if we were. You're great at it. Hey, I ran camps for a living. I know what camp's supposed to look like. And I love it. This is a vacation for me. This is an absolute vacation.
This is not a vacation.
I want you to know something. If you look at the top middle picture, that's the first year Tracy and I ran camp. When I talk about love, this is what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the year that Tracy and I took on camp. The camp before that had 93 campers. 277 campers this week. I mean, that don't just happen. In Rotary, in service above self, people can say, oh, that's Matt from Ryla. You know what? Great, thanks, I appreciate that. But what makes Ryla really happen? I shared this with CITs and Chiefs. I'm like the Wizard of Oz. I'm just behind the curtain. Your CITs and Chiefs are the ones that make it happen. Leadership's the one that makes it happen. Tracy and I just put the game plan together and throw it on the table and you guys go do it. But we grow because we put people in this room that love investing in others. Regardless if they agree or disagree. Regardless if their thumbprint is so different. If they're not from America. If they're from X, Y, and Z town. It's about that. I'm going to share something that's hard. That I would never not share. The hat skit. Y'all think that was funny?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty funny, right? First time I saw the hat skit done really well, really, really well, was the gentleman on the left. With the gentleman named Rowdy from Adair at our YMCA Camp Takatoka. I see these two gentlemen do that hat skit, and when they're done, they're drenched in sweat. I mean, they gave it all they had. The gentleman on the left is from Cassville, Missouri. Who's from Cassville? Raise your hand. Somebody is. There you go. She's staying in Cassville. The gentleman on the left is from Cassville, Missouri. Caleb came as a camper, came as a CIT, came back as a chief, and worked for me at YMCA Camp Takatoka. The gentleman on the right is a young man from East Central High School. And this is at Camp Takatoka, the program called Camp Hope that we run. It's a program for young men and young ladies that have been in households where they've seen a loved one either domestically assaulted or killed. 15-year-old young man goes to East Central High School, probably the only white kid in the school, and I can guarantee you he's probably not the popular young man as well. I sat with a photographer from the Tulsa World as this picture was taken, probably from here to the back door, watching. And I got this picture back, and I thought of a bunch of things. When you see that picture, what do you think? What do you think's going on? Praying? What else? They're talking? What else? What else looks like it's going on? There's a connection? What else? Love? Investment? Man, somebody's smart. Somebody listen. Let me tell you the real facts of life. 2 Octobers ago, on a Monday night, I get a phone call. I get a phone call from this gentleman's dad. This gentleman's dad says, Caleb passed away in his sleep last night, 21 years old at the College of the Ozarks. Brain aneurysm. No issues with his health. Just a regular college student. I get a call Tuesday morning. I'm headed to Branson for our district conference on that Thursday. And I get a call on Tuesday morning from Caleb's mother. And my friend David from Claremore wears this shirt so well, so often. I've got a Riley shirt, a bunch of us have it, that says it's about to get awesome. And I got a mom that called me of a 21-year-old young man that asked me to bury her son in that shirt. Let me tell you about life. She went into his dorm room and found what you'll get tomorrow, their affirmation cards, their index cards. You'll write on them. You'll have people in your tribe that every once in a while need to pick me up. And you'll say, Matt, thank you for being a great listener. Matt, be proud of who you are. She picked those cards up and she said, Matt, he had 3 stacks of cards in the 3 years he'd been at camp. Said, Matt, I never knew that Caleb was a leader. I never knew how much Caleb invested in other people. Tommy Jane and I had never met that parent. And I go to Caleb's house to drop this shirt off on the way to Branson on Thursday. And I walk into a mom who had just lost her son, a stepdad that was a Rotarian, and hand her this shirt. And you would have thought I was Jesus Christ in the eyes of those people. And it had so little to do with me and so much to do with Caleb. Because Caleb had an opportunity. He had opportunities to invest. He put himself in places where he could give back. The hat skit wasn't about Caleb doing the hat skit. It was because Caleb could deliver the hat skit because he knew it was what was best for everybody to see and enjoy it and have fun. One of the hardest things I've done in a long time. That Sunday I went by the funeral home and I gave her a copy of the New Day when I was there on Thursday. And I walk in, and right when I walked in, that was the first thing when you walked into the funeral home, was the New Day. And I walk up, and there's a 21-year-old young man wearing a shirt with that logo on the back that never gave up a single day. Never got cheated. Never. And I don't use absolutes. The CITs and chiefs in this room, the leadership in this room that knew that young man would tell you that. Caleb was an investment. Fact. There's no reason other than your personal willingness to not invest in other people. You're the only reason you won't invest in other people. Not me. Not your best friend. Not your parent. No one in here cannot invest. Everyone in here has the ability. And you have the authority. It's your choice whether you choose to invest or not. I'll tell you about investment. There's a reason that you see my kids love the people that they're with this week. I don't allow my kids to be around a lot of people straight up. We live north of Tulsa, out in the middle of the country. We don't have a lot of opportunity. We go to school, scouts, and we go to Rotary. And these people love my family. They're going to be a part of my kids' thumbprints. They are a part of my kids' thumbprints. Because they're investors. Get back to these two people. An alcoholic on the right. 12-pack a day. He knows it. I've never talked about it. Would do anything for me. And continues to step up for my family. And tomorrow morning he'll go to my son's Cub Scout event, Skiatook. Because that's the kind of grandpa he wants to be. He'll show up when I need him. Person on the left, February 24th of 2016, took my .40 caliber handgun and stuck it to her throat and shot herself out the back of her ear, and you'd never know it. You would never know it. Walking, talking miracle. That same person, right now tonight, 2 years later, when you talk about parents, and you talk about, oh, where's that at? It's in here somewhere. You talk about the word love. I love my mom. But I'm telling you right now, it's one of the hardest decisions I have to make every single day as to whether I care or I don't care. Just to be frank. Just to be quite frank. As a 36-year-old, you'd think, you know what, he's got life figured out. Ron and I talked earlier this week, and he was like, man, I didn't even know. Didn't even know that one of my 3 German Shepherds passed away 2.5 months ago. My grandmother gets put in the hospital at the same time. My mother gets an open container, gets put in jail. Grandma dies Tuesday morning, and I'm making a phone call to tell my mom my grandmother's passed away, her mom. That I'm the one that stood up at her funeral because my mom couldn't deliver. I stood up. I kept stepping up. Failed to appear. She's now going on 3 weeks on a new DUI and currently is sitting in Ogden County tonight. Hardest decision I have to make is at what point I stop caring. Hardest decision I have to make is at what point do I push? At what point does my foundation get so rigid to where these guys are impacted, to where you're impacted? Buried another dog last Monday that her and I brought home. That was our first real child. It may not matter to you. It's just a dog. But let me tell you right now, regardless of somebody tried to kill themselves 2 years ago, unsuccessfully, I still live with it every single day. Because that person is a part of my thumbprint. I would not be who I am today if it wasn't for those 2 people right there. There are qualities in those 2 people right there that do get invested into those 3 people right there. Just because my circumstances may suck today, and by gosh, they suck. Yesterday at 2 o'clock, while she was appearing in court, I was on my phone trying to see what was going to go down. But you wouldn't have known it yesterday, would you? Would any of my staff known that? We still showed up. Rylomania was still great. I still put my feet on the ground. But it's because I have a foundation. If I didn't have that foundation, I'm telling you right now, I've got a lot of excuses to be one of those 2 things. A lot of excuses where I could be an alcoholic, a drug addict, an unsuccessful father. I've got excuses. My sister and I both have a lot of excuses. But excuses are just that. They're excuses. A new day doesn't provide us the opportunity to make excuses. Tomorrow, there's a wall midway through the day, and I ask you to challenge yourself and go over that wall. It's a physical wall. It's a 14-foot wall. Where everybody in here I'd like to see go over the wall. You go over the wall. I will take 100% credit for what's on that board and what's on the back of this shirt. I'll do it. Because I did it. Okay? If you can't remember the new day, and you don't see value in the new day, and you don't see value in what the sheet of paper I'll hand you on Sunday, that's fine with me. Irregardless, life should not be boring. Life should not be full of hope. Life should not be full of belonging. You should belong. Wake up, be awesome, go to bed. Somebody said, how do those CITs and chiefs stay at that level? There's your answer. Because that's what I'm going to ask them to do. You go over that wall tomorrow, you take that challenge, one of these is yours. But I ask you to take that challenge. I ask you to understand that this thing right here, outside of my dad, that 37-year-old Eric Myers was the greatest male mentor in my life. And at 37, he died of brain cancer. My family. who gave me the most important thing in my life, physical thing. Thank you. I never did it. It's my own excuse. I ain't making excuses. Every day is the beginning of a new day. Every single day. Again, it says, this is the beginning of a day. I've been given this day to use as I will. I can waste it or use it for good. What I do today is important because I'm exchanging a day of my life for it. Sorry. I pledge to myself that it should be gain not lost, good not evil, success not failure, in order that I should not regret the price I paid for this day. Caleb Clare was an investor. I have every reason to suck as a person. Some of you may think you've got the same excuse. Poverty. Some of these situations. But the fact of the matter is, my name is Matt Hancock, and I'm an investor. My challenge is I ask you to think about that. Not to make you feel bad. Not for you to go, man, that sucks. I got big shoulders. I got a lot of people around me with big shoulders. And I got people like Ron Harris that I can call at the drop of a hat. And you've got a lot of people in this room that here in a couple days when you walk away from here, got your back. Be an investor. You go to Tribe Time, CITs will be at 11, Chiefs will be at 11:45. Have a blessed evening. 7 a.m. tomorrow morning breakfast.